Hi guys. I thought I'd make this video a little bit earlier than usual, just for one section of the upcoming SAC, which is 6.5, chapter 6.5, and I like to call it the hard stuff. I think this key knowledge and key skills is the trickiest part of the SAC, so I'm just making it its own video. Alright, so the key knowledge and key skills for this is understanding stuff about Medicare, private health insurance, PVS, and NDIS. So you need to know some stuff about it in general. But you also need to say how they promote health, which is a key skill. And you also need to be able to say how they promote health in relation to these four things, okay? Don't worry about this being bolded. That was just me being an idiot. And when they say health, it's one of the only places really that they also mean health status. You can talk about health or health status, and I've mentioned to my class health status is the easiest one to talk about because you can talk about how it's improving life expectancy or whatever. That's the easiest way to do it, okay? Or decreasing morbidity. But if you get stuck, you can talk about any of PEMAS. Just make sure you've got your keywords for each of those, okay? Alright, so questions can be like this. They can say, explain how any of them promote health. Okay, that's PMS, or like I just said, health status. In particular, improving life expectancy, or you can talk about mortality or morbidity or burden of disease. Okay, and so Medicare, it says explain, so that's your task word. So you probably want to say a little bit about Medicare, like it's Australia's universal health coverage scheme. And I guess the easiest way is to link it to life expectancy. So you could say through Medicare, people are able to go to a doctor for no charge or subsidized amount, and they're able to be diagnosed and treated, which would would increase their life expectancy. Okay. NDIS, a little bit about it. So the National Disability Insurance Scheme. I don't know if I want to go through all the kind of facts of each one in this because it'll just take too long. But you guys know at least two key points about the NDIS, like who it's for. You have to have a permanent significant disability to access it. So people can get, you could say, people can get access to carers, which would help them. Just trying to think about what's the best way to do this. Help their social health because they're able to have good relationships with like friends and their family through that carer giving them some respite maybe, which would improve their social health. It obviously, I'm just trying to think. Mental health, yeah, with if they're able to get assistance, or maybe they're able to get a wheelchair because they're able to do that, then they're able to have less stress and anxiety about getting around. Okay. PVS is the Australia's medication subsidy program, and that means that you're able to all Australians are able to receive medication at either $36.80 for full price or $6.80. I don't know if that's exactly right numbers, but it doesn't really matter just as long as it's near that concession. And that is able to treat illness, which would reduce the morbidity rates, okay, or increase the life expectancy. Private health insurance, I'm trying to remember what the answer is to this one. So you're able to choose your own doctor and able to have your own private room. So that might increase your mental health, through having less stress and anxiety about those things, or that you don't have to be on a waiting list, which could improve your physical health by being treated faster. It's probably a better one, isn't it? Okay, so that's how you answer those kinds of questions. Just a little bit of information about them. I'd say probably 2 key points would be good. And then link it to health status or PMAS, so health. Okay, so this is the hard part. All right. Australia's healthcare system, we're looking at funding, sustainability, access and equity. They're some of the most important parts of our health system. Okay, I've got some small ways for you to do this. Funding. The keywords here are financial resources that go towards things like staffing and other resources like equipment, hospitals, etc. That ensure a high quality of care. Writing this out for you. All right, that's what that one means. It's very, very important for you to know what each of these means before you try to answer one of these questions. Sustainability includes funding. So this is how we can kind of double up on our response. It's a bit of an easier way to do it. It includes funding to ensure, like all things that are sustainable, that it is ongoing. To ensure that it keeps going and is able to be responsive to emerging needs. Emerging, you could say, needs or issues. We looked at sustainability in class. There's 4 parts to it. One part was like finding out what new diseases are coming out and getting ready for those, or preventing diseases. So it's also, these emerging needs could be a new disease that's coming around, or it could be the fact that Australia has an aging population. So we need to ensure, for it to be sustainable, that our healthcare system keeps going, but it's also going to deal with the fact that we have a lot more older people in the system. I hope that makes sense. Access and equity are the 2 easy ones, thank God. Access, everyone should have access to healthcare. Should have access to healthcare, regardless of 2 things. Regardless of their ability to pay. 1, their ability to pay. And 2, where they live. See how that one's a bit easier to remember. Equity, it needs to account, healthcare needs to account for individual differences. Needs to, running out of room. Individual differences. Okay, equity is not the same as equality. You know that from earlier on in the year. Just everyone having equal access to healthcare does not make it equitable. That is my big message for you, okay? Just say our whole class has equal access to healthcare, which they do. Is it equitable? No. There's people that might have mental health problems. There's people that might live far away from stuff. There's Indigenous people who might not feel comfortable going to the doctor. There's people of different cultures who might not be able to speak the same language as the doctor. This is the big one. I reckon you're going to get asked about it in the exam. I have a funny feeling. I don't know. It's pretty mean if they ask you any of this stuff because it's all new and it's quite difficult, but you never know. So get yourself across it. So that's what each of the 4 things mean. So how would you answer a question about this? Okay, firstly, explain how Medicare. So once again, explain what Medicare is. Let's link it to any of these. Let's say sustainability, okay? Medicare and sustainability. So how does it promote health in relation to sustainability? Remember, sustainability includes funding, okay? Medicare is one of the schemes, these 3 schemes, where that feeds the most money into our healthcare system. Okay, so most of the money for our healthcare system comes from Medicare. This money is then able to ensure that we have the that we can continue our health system at a really high quality, and we can be responsive to emerging needs like an aging population or new diseases. That would then promote health. If we can be responsive to emerging diseases, then we'd be increasing life expectancy. It's hard, hey? What about NDIS and, let's say, equity? That's probably an easy one, but I'll do it anyway. NDIS, some basic information about that. How does it account for individual differences? Well, this is a program for people with disabilities, and it supports their health through providing wheelchairs, providing social interactions to promote their social health, things like that. Let's choose another one. That was too easy. What about NDIS and, well, NDIS and funding and sustainability would be the same as the Medicare one. Both of these, okay? So NDIS is one of the three ways that the Australian, three schemes that provides the most funding for healthcare. And so, yeah, that's easy to talk about those two as well. Access, anyone can access the NDIS regardless of where they live. So it's a national program. It's also got individual treatment plans, so it doesn't matter where you live. And regardless of their ability to pay, well, it has no cost to the person. In fact, it's providing them with funding. Choose another one just for lots of practice. PBS, if it was funding or sustainability, you could use this. It is one of the three schemes that provides Australian government with the most money for the healthcare, which means for the funding one, remember, the ability to provide funding for staff and for resources like medication, which would improve people's health through them being medicated for an illness, improving their life expectancy. Private health insurance, probably one of the trickier ones, or it seems trickier. For funding, you can say, as you know, private health insurance accounts for about 35% of the of Australia's health budget. They contribute a lot of money, so that's how you can answer your funding and sustainability one. Access. So access was about people can access private health insurance regardless of where they live. It's everywhere, but regardless of their ability to pay, well, the federal government has put in some incentive schemes for people to take out private health insurance. Remember, there was a 30% rebate. So if you earned under 90,000, you could get up to 30% return to you. So I guess that's a way of saying that it's been incentivized for people. And equity, so does it account for individual differences? Yes, it does, because you can take out a different health insurance scheme to anyone else, and you can choose whatever options and extras you want. Oh, guys, I wish I could write this one for you on the SAC or the exam. It's very hard. But if you practice I think if you think about it a little bit, it's not too bad. And I hope this video helps you answer it. Good luck.